Continuing the discussion on the Senate rescinding its decision on e-transmission, we have just joining us Senator Kabiru Gaya, Chairman Senate Committee on INEC. Thank you so much for joining us on News Night. Surely a landmark decision. What exactly changed between July when the Senate decided that e-transmission was a no-no, that Nigeria was really not ready for it? What has changed between then and now?
First of all, thank you for having me here in this wonderful station. It's not my first time being here, but I appreciate being here again. We are legislators and we are representative of people. That means the Nigerians all over, because we have 109 senators, we have 360 House of members. All of us are representatives of the people. So we go down to our constituencies and get their opinion. And when we are doing constitutional amendment, we also go down to get people's opinion. And even when we are making up bills, we get people's opinion. So what happened really, there was a lot of cry by Nigerians. This is what they want, this is how they want it. And we represent the people, so we should look at the views of Nigerians and see how best we can be able to accommodate the interests of our teeming population. And that's the legislation. Legislation is you listen to the people, make up a law that is convenient and good for them, and they should be part of that law. That's why we do public hearings during when we're making laws. When acts are ready for presentation in the Senate, we have to go for public hearing to get the opinion of Nigerians. And this time, after this decision in the Senate, a lot of people through the media, through other norms, have talked to us on really this issue. And the other thing, some don't understand the issue of transmitting and transferring of the result. What INEC was doing during the Edo election, and so we are just transferring the results. What really happened was, after the election, the returning officer will read the results, and then the agents will sign, and copies will be given to every stakeholder, including the police. And one of those copies, he will take picture of that copy, like doing WhatsApp, then he transfer it to the national headquarters, and then they get the result. So that is transfer. But when you are transmitting live, which means if one dot of a ballot drops, it now reads from, if it is in any village, it now reads in Abuja, but that's not really the case. So we agreed on this transfer of results, which would be easier and acceptable as we did in INEC election, in the Edo election, and so on. Then apart from that, there are some other changes we made based on the people's request.
Let me get you. Are you saying what the recommittal you did is not e-transmission? Is that what you're saying?
The recommittal is electronic voting and electronic transmission.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's always a difference of how most of us agreed on this transmission. People believe that transmission is at the dying point. You are voting, the results are clicking down there. If many stations are voted at the same time, you are transmitting those results, even without the agent certifying. But here we said, agents, the machine that they are putting now is a machine that will print the results at the polling station or polling unit, and then the agents would sign those in that are there with the representatives of the stakeholders, that is either the police or other agents. Then that result, the returning officer will take picture of that result and then transmit it to the national headquarters or for collation centers. That is also cut down in destroying ballot boxes, people snatching ballot boxes, people stopping.
We're going to come.
Agents
I was going to come to ask you that, but let me ask you this. Basically, I'm sure you'll agree to describe this thing as a victory for Nigerians. But the former VP Atiku Abubakar says the harmonization of positions between the NAS and INEC is an indication that Nigeria's democracy is growing. Yeah. Is that the correct view? Is that the correct way to look at it, or what's your own view?
Well, Vice President Atiku said he's a long-time player in politics. He has been involved on all these processes of elections, and he knows areas where there are problems, where they need to be amended. And he said as long as the Senate or the National Assembly agrees with INEC and come up with a solution for the best way forward for a free, fair, and credible elections, That's what we needed. So I agree with him in what he said. Certainly, he is a stakeholder, and he has given his advice. And I think at the end of the day, this is what we did.
In coming to this decision to rescind that no to e-transmission, what exactly was the Senate afraid of in the first place in July when it said no to transmission? I know, it seems to have been overflogged, but I want you to reiterate exactly what was going on in the minds of the majority. No, let me land on this. In the minds of the majority of senators, including yourself, who voted no. Yeah. And the decision now, does it have political undertones? Is that what it's about, or for the greater good of Nigeria's democracy? Whatever we did is in the greater interest of Nigerian democracy. And for the change from the initial concept of saying no, we didn't say no to electronic voting. We said no to electronic transmission. That's my point, yes. And what we mean by that, it was this same process of when any area is voting at any particular time, those results are exactly showing, even before collating the result at the ward polling units, which shouldn't be the case. The result should be collated at the polling unit, certify the number, agent sign, then you can transmit that result. Okay. So where the Senate was saying no was issue of direct transmission at the time you are voting.
All right, you people dealt with two issues, not just the recommittal. One was for the e-transmission of those, and there was another issue which you just finished discussing with the chairman of the IPAC. The president of the Senate seems to agree, talking about direct primaries. Former president of the Senate, Saraki, was begging, practically that INEC should, the NAS should drop that. But you went ahead and did that. Could you tell us why, the advantages, so to speak?
Well, first of all, I'm happy I've been in politics for quite a while. I was elected governor in 1991 through the same process of direct primaries. In those days, I was a young man in politics. I don't have a godfather, and maybe I don't have the resources to buy votes. And we're given the privilege to go around and canvass for votes all over the state. And I was able to go around. At that time, Jigawa and Kano was one state. It was no separation. I was able to go to almost every village. So when they say we are going to do direct primary, I was very comfortable, because I know nobody will come with money and buy this number of votes in all these locations. We are talking of over 500 or 600 wards. There is no way you can spend your money around the 600 wards for people. So I was very comfortable. I knew that people have gone around, I campaigned them, and they accepted me at that time. So certainly the direct primaries were the best, because in direct primaries it means you now go around to people and solicit for their vote. Yeah, but the PDP is saying that with direct primaries that you are enforcing now for the political parties, it's pushing back the hands of the clock. That there are parties who may not be able to afford there's also like it costs you more. It costs you more to do direct primaries, indirect primaries, because the players, the candidate, the aspirants are going to spend money. They go for the highest bidder. And any election where somebody is voted based on the money he gives, he will never have a credible leader. Like, once you put money to be voted in, it means there's no credibility in that. It means you have spent your money, you want to recover back your investment. It looks like an investment. I put 1 billion to win election, I have to recover 5-6 billion of taxpayers' money. So the best thing is, let's do direct primaries where you spend less to the people and then you serve the people, and you also feel you are indebted to those people that voted you. Will it favor your party, the APC? It will every good party.
All right, we'll come back to you. We'll continue this discussion. We'll look at it more and look at the other issues we're discussing with Senator Kabiru Gaya, Chairman, Senate Committee on INEC. We'll be back. Stay with us.
All right. Welcome back. Yes, we're still on with Senator Kabiru Gaya, Chairman, Senate Committee on INEC. The question of whether this move to enforce direct primaries on all political parties is actually based on the good of all, the good of democracy in Nigeria, or will it favor your party more than others? Is that what's playing out?
The law,
how do you convince Nigerians that it's really about our
it's
democracy
about
to move it
improving
forward?
our democracy, in making sure that anybody who wants to run for election should go and canvass his votes from the people. And that means you should just go down, speak to the party members, and let the party members come out to vote for you. And the whole thing, I'm sure it's going to stabilize our democracy. You find that if you are strong, and even the party members will now look for a viable, a strong candidate or aspirant to join. Like if there's a small party and that party is only in one place, and one particular person or two or some people are very popular in that person, in that location, because of direct primaries, even stronger or bigger parties will now go and look for those credible credible people that can run for the election. So I think the whole thing is making it go down to the grassroots and have people that the masses or the people, their votes counts, that they now choose who they want, and then that matters. You don't have to get any person coming from outside the country or even in this country, but he's made so much money as a businessman and he wants to now invest in politics. Then he come with his money and buy votes for, buy delegates and become a candidate.
All right.
And that particular person may not even know the terrain. But now if you are running for direct primary, it means you have to go every corner of your constituency. I have 172 wards. If I'm going for primaries, if I'm going for the Senate, it means I have to go around all these areas, show them what I have done as a serving senator for them and what I can do for them tomorrow. If I didn't do well for them, certainly they will not vote for me in that constituency because we have voted you for so many period of time. You didn't do anything for us. So that is the essence of direct primary. It checks and balances. It makes sure that a legislator goes back to his constituency and do what the people want.
And presents his scorecard. Well, we had, like I said before, Dr. Leonard, the argument is that the political parties may not have the logistics. And then, for example, give an example of supposing you have a field and you're going to have 2 million people, direct primary, voters from the parties, party members, come together. How are you going to organize that? And then there's also an argument that the political parties don't have the data of their membership. Did you people think about all this?
Well, first of all, the issue of combining 2 million people in one place will not happen. There are wards. In every local government, there are 10 or 15 wards. So these elections are going to take place in 10 locations, in 10 locations in particular local government. So you cannot combat 2 million people in one location. It averagely local government has 200 and something thousand people. Depends if like bigger local governments like Lagos and Kano, they may have up to about 1 million, but not 1 million people will be current members of a particular party. So certainly those numbers can be maintained or can be accommodated in those locations. And it is in a locality. So even people in that area will know who are their members. You cannot go and carry somebody from the city, bring in the village and vote for a candidate. It is the people within that locality. And some of them may have to say, okay, we are going to vote for you, but make sure you are going to do this and this and this for that when you win. So that would be something that the candidate or the aspirant who is running for position now will tell the people, I will do this for you. And once you win the election, you do that for them. It means by next time, you will have a better chance of running for elections.
Okay, so let's look at the bigger picture. In the Second Republic, the political party was at the front and center of the party manifesto. The party members actually were the ones who owned the parties. What is the possibility of bringing back that culture today, where a Jack Conde, for example, everything he did in 4 years was driven by the party, and the party provided the checks and balances that was needed. How can that be achieved this time?
It can be achieved
in a situation
through
where
this
you have
process.
money bags, godfathers.
No, when you have money bags and godfathers, things can't work like this, because every godfather wants his own child to win election for his own personal interest, not for the interest of the people, because he has something at stake. He wants that thing to be protected. So he sponsor a candidate, and that candidate will go and do the the views or the orders of his boss. So with that, it may not help. But when you are doing direct primaries, there are more members, more people that can come out even without godfathers and be able to win elections. Because it will be somebody in that constituency who for years have been investing on his people. Not even willing to run for election, but has been investing in people. And then the people will come and say, we need you now. We want a representative like you, so join us. And I could remember that's how I started politics. I was in second university and I was assisting my people in my village. And they were happy with me what I was doing. So one day when the election comes close, I said, Gaya, come and run for election. I said, what for? So if you are serving the people you are serving your community, certainly they recognize you. And this is what we want. And if somebody has been recognized in his community as a leader and is being voted into office, he will be highly respected, and the person will be committed more to his constituency than his own personal or his boss orders.
All right, Senator Kabiru Gaya, Chairman, Senate Committee on INEC, well, thank you for being on Arise News on Newsnight.
Thank you very much for being here, and I appreciate being with you.